Have you ever been in a situation wherein you're in a group setting and there is this awkward silence? And just to fill that awkwardness and that void, you start talking, you start sharing things about your life, probably about your personal life, your job, and sometimes even your finances. And as soon as that situation is done with and you're walking out, you ask yourself this question: why did I share that? I've realized one thing, that in any kind of a group setting, the person who speaks first unnecessarily is the one who often loses their power. The gradient of power is never in your favor post that. Because in that situation, you're not actually speaking out of strength, you're speaking out of that need to fill that discomfort. You're speaking out of your insecurities. You're speaking out of that need to feel belonging. I've realized one thing, that where does this behavior really come from? I've seen this so many times and I have done this myself, that probably you are the most sensitive person in that particular setting or that room, or you are the most aware person in that room, and you take it on yourself to fill that silence and to fill that discomfort. You start sharing things about your life, and you empathize and you start sharing a lot of things. And post that particular situation, you have that feeling that you have given something away. You have given a major chunk of your life away, which you really have, because that feeling of giving something away is very, very real. If you dig deep down, and I have honestly thought about it a lot of times as to why I behave like this or why people behave like this, and just for some kind of getting away from discomfort, why do they start oversharing? And what I've realized is, this really comes from doesn't come from confidence. It actually comes from a deeper place. It comes from a place wherein you are seeking some kind of validation. You have some kind of insecurities in you, and to get away with those, and at times you have that feeling that you will be unseen. You have the discomfort of being unseen. You have that discomfort as to you do not belong to that particular group if you do not share things, and if you do not entertain people, and if you're not heard enough, you will be left out. You have some kind of a FOMO as well, and you really feel that you lack that thing that is required to be a part of that particular group, or to be a part of that particular person in their life. And that brings me to one question and one shift, honestly, that I want to bring about in my life, because I honestly have done this myself a lot of times. One shift that in my mind that I would like to bring here is that, why should I be that person who is so affected by that silence that I am the one who talks first? Why shouldn't I be okay with the silence? Why shouldn't I be the person who sits back, relaxes, and who's just enjoying the conversation with others and listening to their conversation and only talking when it is required? Because one thing insightful over here is that real power doesn't come from talking too much and talking a lot and speaking all the time. Real power comes from being okay with not talking and speaking up only when it is required and only when you want to. That is where real power actually comes from. And for people like you and me, we should never feel that need for external validation. We should never have those feelings in our mind that we are not enough, that we do not belong. that we are not born with that innate value, and we have to get out and create that particular that value, right? We are enough, we do belong, and we do not need validation of every room, right? We have enough value in ourselves. That should be the mindset whenever you are talking to anyone, whenever you are entering any group or any conversations. You should have that confidence in yourself that you do not require anybody's validation here. So, probably the principle or the takeaway from here would be that not everything in your life requires an audience. This is First Principles. My name is Zaid, and thank you for tuning in.